はい、ラリミラクルン始まるよ。ラリシルベスタです。アニメが好きです。今日のビデオは10一番アニメ一緒に話してください。これらはおすすめです。すみません。日本語はちょっとペラペラですね。でも英語で、話してでもいい？はい。みんな行くのぜ。最果てのストーリー抱いてあってもなくさまよい続けて満ちた New World The game has only just begun 今始まりの One of the most popular cultures in Japan is anime. I have divided my anime list into two. This includes long-running anime and short-running anime. And let us begin with one of my top 5 long-running animes in my lifetime. I will start with Bleach. Basically, Bleach is about a young guy named Ichigo, who is appointed as the Soul Reaper. It is set in a world whereby reality is different from the spirit world, and in between there's a faction, there's a community called the Soul Reapers, and Ichigo is inducted as a Soul Reaper in order to maintain balance and protect the real world from these malevolent spirits. It's one of my best animes simply because a lot of my friends recommended this anime, and it took me a while to soften up to it, because for me it was a pretty much old anime, and the animation style wasn't my style. So, but eventually it's the current anime that I'm watching, and I'm really loving it. And I won't give out any spoilers, but why don't you just go and watch it for yourself? It has about 500 episodes, so tell me how your experience is. My number 4 long-running anime, Black Clover. Black Clover is a short anime, current contemporary short anime that the struggle to attain the title of the Wizard King. It's currently ongoing. It's, I think, at episode 113 or 14, 15 there. I'd suggest you watch it. It's really high paced. My number 3, and this really hits home because it was one of my first animes to watch. It was actually my second anime to watch ever since I started loving anime. Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail basically is about a young stupid boy called Natsudragnil who is searching for Earth. In this anime, Earth is a fictional world that only exists once you look for it. So he goes and confides with a dragon called Dragon Ignil to lend him his power so that he can find Earthrealm and explore it. Basically, it's just an adventurous anime. I'd suggest you watch it. It has a lot of funny, humorous moments within it. And yes, fairy tale in Japanese. My number 2 long-running anime is really much popular to a lot of you guys. You've watched it. It has been with us since we were growing up. It is called Naruto Shippuden. Mind you, there are 3 installments of Naruto. There's Naruto Shippuden, and there's Boruto. Naruto is when he was a young kid. Naruto Shippuden is when he was a teenager, and Boruto is when he has a kid. Now it's basically the story of Naruto's kid, who's called Boruto. I'd suggest you, if you're new to anime and you're looking for a long-running anime, I'd suggest you watch Naruto Shippuden, because within it has 500 episodes, and within it has fillers from Naruto when he was a kid. So if you want to hasten things up, I'd suggest you watch Naruto Shippuden. It's basically about a boy named Naruto, Ashinori named Naruto, who is seeking to become the Hokage in his tiny leaf village. And eventually, one thing that is really consistent with the anime, and I really love it, one thing that stands out is the villain called Madara, who is a really powerful guy, and things go downhill at the end of the episode. One thing within the otaku community, or within the anime lovers, is that a lot of people weren't satisfied with the ending. We feel it was a bit rushed, but I'll let you see. I won't tell you how it went down, but I'll let you, just go watch it and tell me what do you think about that ending. Do not spoil it for you. It really builds up to that. And my number 1 long-running anime is One Piece. One Piece is basically a story about Monkey D. Luffy who is a pirate, and he seeks the treasure One Piece. Apparently, in this world, in this world, there's a treasure. There's the final treasure, the treasure of all treasures, called the One Piece. So we follow Luffy and his gang, Nami, Zoro, Brook, and Tony Chopper, and a lot of other interesting characters who are brought in to fill in the pirate crew for Luffy. And I really love this anime because it has really transgressed. It has really grown with us. Currently, it's at episode, I think, 1002 episode, somewhere there. And if you watch episode 1 all the way to episode 1000 and something, you'd see how even the animation in it is changing, because the first few episodes were really more hand-drawn animated figures, animated frames. But as you know, because it's a pretty old anime, since 2001 2000, by Toei Animation. Really wonderful job, guys. And currently we are at the arc of Wano, where we go to Zoro's country. Zoro is a samurai in Luffy's crew, hence the regalia. But guys, watch out for One Piece. It will be here to stay with us for the long run. That is the first half of my top best animation, long-running animations. We have other short-running animations, and I categorize this because most of these animes haven't gotten to the 500 episode or 100 episode mark. And at the bottom of that list, my number 5 short-running animation is Akame ga Kill, which follows the story of Tatsumi, who is coincidentally integrated into a band called the Night Raiders, who are basically seekers of justice. They protect the world from demons, from corruption, bad people, basically. What really resonated with me about Akame ga Kill, because it focuses on Tatsumi, who apparently isn't the main character. Later on, as the anime ends, we find out that the main protagonist of this story is actually Akame, hence the name Akame ga Kill, which translates to the red-eyed killer. The plot twist at the end really captivates us when the entire plot of the story shifts to Akame, which begs me to, ask the producers and the developers of the anime to kindly give us a season 2. We would want to see that much. So next, number 4 on my short anime series is Prison School. Now, I would want to warn you in advance that this is an ecchi anime, and ecchi anime has a lot of sexual innuendos and nudity, so it would not be the best anime to watch with kids. But that aside, if you're of age and you want to watch a really wonderful, well-driven ecchi anime, Prison School is the best. It's basically a story about 5 boys who are inducted, who rather enroll into an all-girls school. And basically, the first, this is not really a spoiler, it's there in the synopsis. The boys misbehave when they try to peek into the girls' room, and then they are sent into a certain building within the school that is meant to be a prison for the boys, and the girls are now, like the wardens of the boys. What makes it really interesting is you find the hormonal battle between the boys and the girls really estranged, and it makes up for a good comedy relief when you watch Prison School. There is the film adaptation, the live action film adaptation of Prison School. I wouldn't recommend it. Basically, if you want something Japanese, be it series, be it animation, horror movies, I'd suggest you go for the normal, anime. If it's originally animated, go for the original animated series. Yes, my number 3. This is one anime that really resonated with me. It was so emotional. It actually made me cry. It's called Kuzu no Honkai. In English, it translates to A Scum's Wish. Basically, it follows the story of Hanabi, who is in love with her childhood friend, but the childhood friend is in love with another lady whose tutee is also in love with her. I don't know. The plot is really complex, especially if you're watching the anime. There's also a live action series for Kuzu no Honkai. It was really toned down, and it was pretty much straight and simple. I wouldn't recommend it. Just watch the anime. It's really amazing. The soundtrack, the dialogue is amazing. I would recommend Kuzu no Honkai to you if you are into the romance entire drama genre. Even if you're not, just try it. I tried it. I'm not a romantic fan. I'm not into love and such things, so give it a try. My number 2, one of the best plots in anime history, according to me. Remember, also Sumedes. This is I'll give you the plot before I tell you the name. It's basically about an alien that came to Earth and threatened to destroy it. And to prove this, it destroyed the moon in half and told Earth it has 1 year to to kill him before he kills the Earth. If Earth succeeds to kill the alien, then Earth is saved. But if they don't, they don't. So the government employs the military personnel, every person at his disposal to kill the alien. But given the alien has superpowers, super reflexes, they cannot kill him. And one really I wouldn't call it shitty but interesting plot twist was that this alien can't be harmed by conventional weapons like guns and bombs. So what they do, this alien while on Earth decides to take up a job as a teacher. And I'm pretty sure by now you know the anime I'm talking about, Ansatsu no Kyoshitsu, which means Assassination Classroom. So Kuro Sensei, this alien, becomes a teacher, and the class is tasked with the job of killing their teacher. So basically, it's about students trying to kill the teacher for the end goal. The ending is really you wouldn't see it coming. I will not give you spoilers, but just go try see it. Ansatsu no Kyoshitsu is my number 2 Assassination Classroom for you people who do not understand Japanese. Remember, this is based on just my personal preferences, and I tend to love animes currently. All right, my number 1 anime, and this is just my personal preference. I mean, I tend to classify my animes based on the current animes that I've watched. I've watched a lot of anime, so some of them it's really hard to remember. I wouldn't say that I've watched a really bad anime. So my number 1 goes to HOTD, High School of the Dead, or if you find the other title of High School are in negotiations in order to create a second season of this anime, but we have not seen that happening. Still on my number 1, it's tied with one recent anime that is quite popular in Japan but not really popular with people, with the Kenyan community, with the Kenyan otakus. A lot of Kenyan otakus, a lot of people who are in the anime scene here in Kenya love popular animes like Boku no Hero and Dragon Ball Z. But in Japan, and my personal number 1 is that tied with High School of the Dead is Kimetsu no Yaiba, which means Demon Slayer. Need I say more? We currently we are done with season 1. There's a film adaptation greenlit. We do not want to see the film adaptation. Personally, I do not want to see the film adaptation. But basically, Kimetsu no Yaiba is about a young boy whose family is murdered by a group of demons, and now one of his sisters was turned into a demon, and he makes it his sole task to convert the sister back to human. And how he does this, he joins the Demon Slayer Corps and also manages to convince the Hirashi, who are part of the Demon Slayer Corps high top cream, in order to accept her and work together in trying to make her human. Anyway, that is it from my top 10 anime list. Japan has been the Japanese culture and the Japanese lifestyle has been really transgressive over the past couple of years. Yeah, and it's slowly turning into a contemporary society, and a lot of things are happening pop culture. So watashi wa mi raくるん desu. Stay tuned for more anime and otaku related content here at みらくるん desu. さて今は終わりましょう。